Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Gators. 22 Jet Bombers, 22 Jet Bombers. Ready?
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
70, Indy.
Double tight, guys, double tight. We got 4. We got 4. Key 26, key 26.
Bang, 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 bang. Hey, Zoo.
On 3rd and 2, Hudson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A first down carry for Barkley. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Rock it, shoot.
On 2nd down, Crisp. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 40-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Operating from the gun, Hudson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
218, chop it.
Now Saquon Barkley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Pilot, 64, weak.
37's the Mike 37.
Look, squeeze. Now.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quick.
And now look at him go. 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
On second down now, Hope. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack. And guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Set 60 Pittsburgh.
You might be getting tired of seeing me.
Hey. Shoot.
On first down, Hope. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Right back to him on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Back
to you. I'm going back to you.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Hey, Charlie.
Off the play fake. McKinney. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch your slap. Watch your slap. Watch your slap.
Back to throw. Hudson escaping the pressure right. Campbell making the catch. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Ready?
Mike 37. 3 bucks.
61. Matchbox lights.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, Hudson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Down. 50. Plant.
50, Mike. 50.
General West.
They'll run on first down. It's Black, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Ready? 10-2 saw.
Here we go. Double tight. Double tight.
Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Throwing on first down. Hudson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch that end, tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
80 weapons.
Kill, kill, kill.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Hudson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. Hey, wahoo!
Off play action. McKinney. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Everyone, you got 4 down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Let's throw. Windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
That's going to be a long day.
Hey, Alpha. Shoot.
Operating from the gun, McKinney. And he comes back with one complete. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Let's go now.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, McKinney. Buying time to his left. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 2nd and 3. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 44. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the 37-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
On the ready.
50's to mine. Hey, that's what I do.
On 3rd down, Black. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it.
You got that right there.
Chopper, chopper. Look at me, zipper. Ready.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Black, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Check 43.
From the gun, McKinney. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Go.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
22. Record. Check 99. Check 99.
On third down, Hope, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Here we go. 30 base. Shoot.
On first down, Black. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready, set.
50. Here we go, T. Here I come.
Sit up.
Mike 50.
2nd and 13. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, it's Black, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And an update from our nation's capital in D.C. And the Redskins have scored to swing back in front. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw. Hudson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And again this time to the tailback. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Catch made here by Campbell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Matchbox lights.
Y'all playing the wrong football. Check. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check. Crunch. 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 Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Switch, switch, switch.
Bam, bam.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Watch the screen. 552.
Yo, 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 go. Now.
To throw on 2nd down. McKinney. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet 1st down.
36-yard line.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hope. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Yep.
I got it. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike.
You ain't doing nothing today. Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and run for it. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great play there. 39 yards. And the Jets will extend their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
High 7.
2nd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, Hudson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A huge play that time for the Colts. 43 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Hudson. Oh, no, he lost the football. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Protein spill.
On 2nd down, Barkley. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
On the ready.
Mike 34. Hey, I'm coming.
Down.
To throw on 3rd down, Hudson. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Outlaw. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up. Go, Mike 50, Mike 50. I'm coming for you, son.
Go.
Back to throw. McKinney. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understanding where they are on the field?
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready.
The Jets with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
On the double.
Check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, that kid reached track.
Complete grip.
On 2nd down now, it's Black. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. The Jets with victory seemingly in hand, they take the knee. So with that neat 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you wash that spot, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really.